Divers have made quite a discovery off Nantucket Island in Massachusetts, the wreck of a German U-boat.
In 1991, a group of divers found something strange deep under the Atlantic Ocean. Their sonar showed a huge submarine lying in a place where no Nazi submarine was supposed to be. When they went inside, they found hidden rooms, old Nazi items, secret papers, and clues that shocked everyone. Even more surprising, official World War II records said this submarine had sunk near Gibraltar many years earlier. But this wreck was sitting near the coast of New Jersey, so how did it get there? And what was it really doing before it disappeared forever beneath the ocean? Let's dive in. Ghost beneath Atlantic. World War II turned the Atlantic Ocean into something far darker than a battlefield. It became a hunting ground filled with fear, fire, and death. German U-boats moved silently beneath the surface, striking Allied ships without warning. Hitler's goal was simple: cut off supply routes and weaken Britain before American forces could fully enter the war. And because of that, many sailors crossed the Atlantic knowing they might never return home again. But among the hundreds of submarines that vanished in that chaos, one would later become surrounded by mystery, confusion, and unanswered questions. Because this wasn't just another lost submarine, it was U-869. The German Navy had built hundreds of U-boats during the war, but few became as unusual as this one. U-869 was launched in 1943 as a Type 9 C-40 submarine, nearly 250 feet long, equipped with 6 torpedo tubes designed for long-range attacks deep across the Atlantic. It was built for endurance, a machine meant to travel thousands of miles without ever needing to return home. And inside that machine was Captain Helmut Neuerberg, a veteran U-boat commander trusted with dangerous long-distance missions during the war's darkest years. By late 1944, everything had changed. Germany was collapsing from multiple fronts. German submarines kept going because Hitler refused to stop the war. Records show that U-869 was ordered toward the Gibraltar region, a critical route where Allied ships moved between the Atlantic and Mediterranean. But somewhere along the way, things stopped making sense. Some historians believe the orders were changed after departure. Others think radio messages never reached the captain during the mission. Then came the final wartime report. On February 11, 1945, a U.S. destroyer and Coast Guard cutter reported attacking an unidentified German submarine near Gibraltar. Depth charges were dropped, and the target was believed to be destroyed. Later, military records linked that attack to U-869 and officially declared the submarine lost near Gibraltar. And with Germany collapsing just months later, no one challenged the report. Many records disappeared in the chaos of the war's end. For decades, that was the accepted story. Families of the 56 crew members believed the Atlantic had taken them near Europe forever. Historians repeated the same explanation in books and archives, but slowly, small details started to break that certainty. No confirmed wreck photos near Gibraltar, no sonar evidence matching the submarine, and radio signals that stopped while U-869 was still far away in the North Atlantic. Then silence took over completely. It was as if the submarine had simply vanished beneath the ocean, without leaving a trace. Most experts dismissed the doubts, because in war, reports were often chaotic, confused, and wrong. Explosions, storms, and fast-moving battles made confirmation almost impossible. But not everyone was convinced. Some wreck hunters refused to accept the official story. They studied missing documents, broken records, and strange gaps in the history of U-869. And the deeper they went, the stranger it became. Because a new theory started forming. What if U-869 never reached Gibraltar at all? What if it crossed the entire Atlantic, heading toward the coast of the United States, without anyone realizing? For decades, researchers searched for answers, but every discovery only added more mystery. Until finally, in the summer of 1991, a strange sonar image appeared near Point Pleasant, New Jersey. And when divers went down, what they found changed the story forever. The Ocean Mystery. During the summer of 1991, John Chatterton, Richie Kohler, and a small group of experienced wreck divers searched the cold Atlantic waters near Point Pleasant, New Jersey. The team had spent years exploring old shipwrecks buried deep beneath the ocean floor. They used side-scan sonar to locate hidden wrecks that nobody had fully explored before. But one sonar image changed everything for the entire team. Roughly 60 miles from the New Jersey coastline, their equipment detected a long object resting almost 230 feet beneath the surface. The shape looked narrow and smooth, like a giant steel cigar buried in darkness. At first, the divers thought they had discovered another common shipwreck, but the sonar image showed something different. The object looked too large, too clean, and too dangerous to ignore. The group prepared for a difficult dive immediately afterward. Those waters carried strong currents, freezing temperatures, and terrible visibility. Nitrogen narcosis could confuse the mind. Oxygen toxicity could shut down the body. A small mistake during decompression could kill a diver before reaching the surface again. Yet one detail disturbed everyone on the dive team. No military records mentioned a submarine sinking anywhere near that location during World War II. Nobody understood how the wreck reached those waters. The divers searched carefully for numbers, markings, or metal plates that could identify the vessel. They found nothing during the early dives. No flag appeared anywhere across the damaged structure. No name survived on the hull. The mystery frustrated the team, but it also pulled them deeper into the investigation. Eventually, the divers started calling the submarine Yoo-hoo because nobody knew its real identity. Each dangerous descent revealed another clue hidden inside the wreck. Every discovery pointed toward Nazi Germany. But the submarine still remained nameless beneath the Atlantic. Then, one small object changed the entire investigation forever. A diver discovered a tarnished butter knife buried inside the wreck. One word appeared across the handle: Hornburg. That single name sent John Chatterton and Richie Kohler toward records, archives, and evidence that would soon rewrite World War II history completely. The impossible identification. The small knife changed everything for the divers. Until that moment, the wreck near Point Pleasant, New Jersey, remained a mystery hidden deep beneath the Atlantic Ocean. The team had already found German instruments, damaged valves, and old equipment inside the submarine, but none of those items revealed its real identity. But the knife was the first item that gave the divers a real clue about the submarine's identity. The handle carried the name Hornburg engraved across the metal surface. At first, the divers did not understand the importance of the discovery. They thought the knife might belong to a sailor who had once visited the submarine before the war ended. Still, the name stayed in their minds after they returned from the dive. They studied crew lists, military files, and surviving documents connected to missing submarines from World War II. Eventually, the name matched one person. A crewman named Georg Horenberg had served aboard German submarine U-869 during the war. That discovery shocked the divers completely. For decades, military historians believed U-869 had sunk near Gibraltar in February 1945. Official wartime records supported that story for years after World War II ended. But the submarine resting near the coast of New Jersey could not exist there if those records were correct. The divers needed stronger proof before anybody would believe them. During later expeditions, the team recovered more parts from inside the wreck. The wreck near Point Pleasant was not another lost submarine from World War II. The divers had found the real U-869 sitting nearly 3,000 miles away from its reported sinking location near Gibraltar. History had been wrong for almost 50 years. In 1997, 6 years after the first discovery dive, the United States Navy officially acknowledged that the wreck belonged to U-869. The announcement stunned historians, wreck hunters, and military researchers around the world. A group of civilian divers had corrected one of the biggest submarine mistakes connected to World War II without help from any government agency. The discovery also created another dark mystery. Nobody understood why U-869 crossed the Atlantic Ocean and reached the American coast during the final months of the war. German records still pointed toward Gibraltar. The submarine also stopped sending radio messages long before anybody reported attacks near Europe. Captain Helmut Neuerberg and his 56 crew members had vanished without leaving behind any explanation. The deeper researchers looked into the submarine's final movements. The stranger the story became. Some experts believed German commanders secretly changed the mission after U-869 left Europe. Others believed communication failures pushed the submarine toward the wrong side of the Atlantic Ocean during the chaos of 1945. But one terrifying detail still remained unanswered. Nobody knew what destroyed U-869 beneath the Atlantic Ocean. Divers who explored the wreck noticed something even more disturbing: death without warning. After the United States Navy officially confirmed the wreck as U-869 in 1997, another mystery quickly took center stage. Nobody understood what actually destroyed the submarine beneath the Atlantic Ocean in 1945. The deeper divers explored the wreck near Point Pleasant, New Jersey. The stranger the evidence became. Every damaged section inside the submarine seemed to tell a different story. Some experts believed U-869 destroyed itself. During World War II, German submarines carried powerful torpedoes designed to sink enemy ships from long distances. But those weapons sometimes failed in terrifying ways. One dangerous malfunction became known as a circle runner. Researchers who supported this theory believed U-869. If U-869 fought enemy ships before sinking, why did the crew leave weapons unfired inside the submarine? Military records from February 11, 1945, described an attack near Gibraltar involving the USS Howard D. Crowe and the USS Coiner. Both ships reported detecting a German submarine beneath the water before launching depth charges into the Atlantic Ocean. American crews later claimed they had destroyed the enemy vessel successfully. For many years, officials connected that attack directly to U-869. Even after divers found the submarine near New Jersey, some historians still believed American depth charges caused the sinking. But problems quickly appeared inside that explanation. The reported attack coordinates did not fully match the wreck location. Divers also found damage patterns that looked different from normal depth charge destruction. Some metal sections bent inward, while others remained mostly untouched. The wreck also showed no signs of an emergency escape attempt. Divers never found evidence suggesting that crew members tried reaching escape hatches before the submarine flooded completely. Whatever struck U-869 happened extremely fast and without warning. As years passed, researchers uncovered more missing records during 1945. Some experts started believing that U-869 may have traveled near the American coast under secret orders connected to Nazi Germany. That possibility explained the missing radio messages, the strange route, and the confusion surrounding the submarine after World War II ended. But the investigation was far from over. Deep inside the wreck, divers finally reached a sealed section untouched since 1945, and the objects hidden there changed the story forever. The sealed chamber. For many years, divers explored the wreck of U-869 with extreme caution. The submarine rested nearly 230 feet below the Atlantic Ocean near Point Pleasant, New Jersey, and dangerous conditions surrounded every dive. Thick fishing nets covered parts of the wreck. Rust weakened the metal walls. Strong currents pushed divers away from the submarine, while darkness swallowed their lights beneath the cold water. Still, the team kept returning. By late 2024, divers used better equipment and improved dive planning to reach areas that earlier expeditions could not safely enter. During one deep descent, several members of the wreck diving team discovered a damaged section hidden behind collapsed metal and heavy corrosion. The opening looked narrow and unstable, but the divers slowly moved inside after cutting through debris blocking the entrance. What they found shocked everyone involved in the expedition. The hidden space looked like a sealed time capsule trapped beneath the Atlantic Ocean since 1945. Divers discovered old lockers, storage crates, clothing, ration tins, and personal belongings, resting exactly where German sailors had left them during World War II. Some containers still remained partly sealed, despite spending almost 80 years underwater. The deeper the divers searched, the stranger the discoveries became. One diver recovered a ceremonial dagger believed to belong to a Kriegsmarine officer from Nazi Germany. The blade still carried markings connected to elite naval units from World War II. The discoveries unsettled even experienced wreck divers. Inside another sealed container, divers uncovered folded propaganda leaflets written in English. Nazi Germany created those papers to spread fear and anger among American citizens during the war. The team also recovered what appeared to be a partially encrypted codebook carrying markings connected to the ABV, the military intelligence service used by Nazi Germany during World War II. Those discoveries changed the meaning of the entire mission. For decades, historians believed U-869 simply became lost during combat operations somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean. But the material hidden inside the sealed chamber suggested something far more secretive. Some researchers started believing the submarine may have traveled near the United States coastline during a classified operation ordered by Nazi Germany during the final months of World War II. Nobody officially confirmed that theory. Still, many details continued pointing toward something larger hidden beneath the surface. The submarine carried propaganda material written for Americans. The wreck appeared near the eastern coast of the United States instead of Gibraltar. Missing radio records and damaged military documents also created more suspicion around U-869 and Captain Helmut Neuerberg. Then another forgotten name from the submarine crew quietly returned decades later. And that final detail made the tragedy surrounding U-869 even more haunting than anyone expected after the sealed chamber discovery. The survivor of U-869. After divers confirmed the wreck as U-869, researchers started contacting relatives connected to the submarine crew from 1945. During that search, one forgotten story quietly returned from the past. The name belonged to Herbert Gashowski, a sailor who almost boarded U-869 before the submarine disappeared beneath the Atlantic Ocean forever. Herbert Gashowski originally trained with the crew assigned to U-869 during World War II. He prepared for the dangerous mission alongside the other sailors before the submarine left Germany in late 1944. But shortly before departure, illness forced military officers to remove him from active duty. Another crew member replaced him before Captain Helmut Neuerberg sailed into the Atlantic Ocean with 56 men aboard the submarine. That small change saved Herbert Gashowski's life. For decades, Herbert believed the same official story accepted by historians after World War II. He thought U-869 had sunk near Gibraltar during February 1945 after an Allied attack destroyed the submarine beneath the sea. Like many surviving relatives, he carried sadness and survivor's guilt while wondering what happened to the men he once trained beside in Germany. Then everything changed during the 1990s. After discovering the wreck near Point Pleasant, New Jersey, John Chatterton and Richie Kohler contacted surviving families connected to the submarine crew. Their investigation eventually led them to Herbert Gashowski in Germany. At first, he struggled to believe the submarine had actually sunk near the eastern coast of the United States instead of Gibraltar. The evidence shocked him deeply. The divers showed him recovered photographs, technical equipment, and the knife carrying the engraved name Hornberg. Herbert immediately recognized Georg Hornberg as one of the sailors who had served aboard U-869 before the mission began in 1944. His memories helped researchers confirm more details connected to the submarine and its missing crew. According to Richie Kohler and John Chatterton, Herbert Gashowski never searched for public attention after the discovery. He quietly answered questions and helped verify records connected to the submarine crew. Herbert Gashowski passed away in 2005, but one strange detail remained hidden until much later. Herbert never learned about the sealed chamber discovered inside U-869 during late 2024. Or maybe he already knew far more about the submarine's mission than he ever admitted before his death. Even today, the full truth about U-869 remains buried beneath the Atlantic Ocean. Some people believe the submarine carried secret orders from Nazi Germany, while others think the crew became victims of a terrible accident in 1945. But after everything discovered inside that wreck, one mystery still refuses to disappear. What was the U-869 really doing near the American coast? Let us know what you think in the comments below. If you liked this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Also, consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, because we'll be uploading more incredible stories like this one in the coming weeks. Until then, see ya.